Hi, everybody. I'm Dawn Myford. Thanks so much for joining me on Here's the Deal. So yesterday in the state of Indiana, Representative Richard Murdoch, Tea Party favorite, told a room full of his backers that it's been a very difficult couple of days for him. As a matter of fact, he was on the verge of crying. He was teary-eye filled is the description that we read about this morning, talking about how difficult it has been to be under the microscope for the comments that he made during a debate there in the state of Indiana in regards to a woman, rape, and abortion. So let's be really clear. He's about to cry because his life has been really difficult due to media coverage. Why don't we think about how difficult it is for the women that suffer from rape? I'm sure that their days and nights are much more difficult than Richard Murdoch's. Now, at this fundraiser for Murdoch, he was introduced by Senator Jim DeMint. Now, Jim DeMint's a Republican from South Carolina. He is also a Tea Party favorite. And when he had introduced Richard Murdoch, he accused the liberal media of twisting Murdoch's words to distract voters. So let's look at what Richard Murdoch said exactly during that debate. The only exception I have to have an abortion is in the case of the life of the mother, said Murdoch. I struggled with myself for a long time, but I came to realize that life is a gift from God. I think that even when life begins in the horrible situation of rape, that is something that God intended to happen. Now, I think that God's probably pretty busy with a lot of things these days, and I don't think that God intends for any woman to be raped. That's certainly not the God that I grew up with in Southern Ohio. And his comment around allowing women to have an abortion in the event that their health is threatened, now that stands in direct opposition to his own Republican Party member, Representative Joe Walsh. Let's look at what Joe Walsh had to say. Science has advanced to the point that pregnant women cannot die from their pregnancy. This is exactly what this man said. Now, his Democratic opponent, Tammy Duckworth, called him out on that comment, and he said that she was being unfair. All of this leads me to the point that Mitt Romney verbally says that he doesn't support these kinds of statements or this kind of position. But let's be really clear. I mean, here is the deal. Romney does support it. He completely supports Murdoch in the state of Indiana. He has not yanked any of his advertising endorsing Murdoch in the state of Indiana. The last time I checked, Paul Ryan was still his running mate. And if you remember, Paul Ryan is the one that made the comment that rape is just another form of conception. These guys are completely beyond the boundary. These are decisions that rest with a woman, her family, and her physician. Republican members of the House or Senate that have no doctoral background, have no science background, they have no business sticking their nose in the private lives of women making the most difficult decision of their lives. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Dawn Myford, and this has been Here's the Deal.